accountability, and we believe that it is important that we are always communicating to the people. And by doing that, we make sure that there are no gaps between the people that are governing and our government. That being the case, I want to welcome you all for attending this press conference, where we wish to address to the Gambian people on the blatant injustice and political targeting of Honorable Yahya Menteng Sayang. On the 18th of April, Honorable Sayang was summoned to the Fajikunda police station following a complaint filed by members of the United Democratic Party. These accusations that he was involved in registering illegal voters are not only false, but completely baseless and driven by hearsay rather than evidence. Honorable Sayang fully cooperated with the authorities and made it categorically clear that the individuals in question are Gambian citizens above the legal voting age, with every right to register and vote. And him being a political leader who has consistently encouraged eligible citizens to exercise their constitutional right to vote, saw it as an opportunity to help and support his people. Yet on the 19th of April, after complying with police instructions and leaving the station, he was suddenly recalled for further questioning. At no point was a formal case file presented to him, nor was evidence presented to him or were any charges communicated. We find this approach both irregular and inconsistent with due process and the principles of rule of law. To be clear, while Unite respects the rule of law and believes in due process, what we are witnessing is a deliberate abuse of process. It is even more disappointing and frankly shameful that an opposition movement it is even more disappointing and frankly shameful that an opposition party would stoop so low as to fabricate allegations against another opposition movement simply because they feel threatened by Unite's rapid rise and growing dominance nationally. It is also completely illogical to suggest that a private citizen can access birth records or manipulate the registration system. Honorable Sayang does not work for the Ministry of Health or work at the Records Office or the Independent Electoral Commission. He has no role or no authority and has no access to register voters. These claims collapse under the slightest scrutiny when looked at carefully. Even more alarming is the blatant double standard. There is credible public evidence of a very high government official caught on camera in multiple polling stations engaging in activities linked to voter registration processes, even allegedly fist-fighting an agent in Nabucco, yet no action has been taken against him. This raises serious questions about fairness, consistency, and the impartiality of law enforcement. Unite is fully aware that there are individuals both within the government and the opposition who are deeply uncomfortable with our growth and our message. They see Unite as the biggest political threat, and they are right. We are going to be the biggest political threat in this country because we are here to change the status quo. Instead of competing fairly, they are attempting to weaponize state institutions to slow us down. Well, they'll be surprised. I have continued to say that no human on the face of this earth can stop us, that it is only God who can. We remind the public of the words of Honorable Hamad Ba in Sukuta, where he openly admitted that they would do everything possible to stop Unite because of the threat we pose. What we are seeing today is the beginning of exactly that. But let this be a warning to anyone attempting to intimidate us. Unite will not be bullied. Unite will not be silenced, and Unite will not be stopped. We will contest these elections by God's grace, and inshallah we will win. Remind the public that these developments bear worrying similarities to tactics used during the era of repression and authoritarianism, where intimidation, pressure, and the use of state institutions were deployed against political opponents. Gambians rejected that system, and Unite will never allow this country to slide back into these old days. We will not allow this country to return to fear, intimidation, and political witch hunt. We call on the authorities to act professionally, transparently, and without bias. The law must apply equally to all, regardless of political affiliation or status. Unite remains committed to protecting democracy, defending the rights of all Gambians, and ensuring that no citizen or political movement is subjected to intimidation or political motivated actions. Thank you.
Spokesperson Kemo Bojang. I welcome the ladies and gentlemen of the press. I'm so impressed. The mics boycotted the minister, but they responded to our spokesperson. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very clear. I have not been charged with any crime because I have committed no crime. I was invited by the police for questioning regarding issues related to birth certificates. These reports were made by members of UDP residing in my constituency, who it seems are in constant fear of my growing influence and commitment to the people of Latikunda Sabi. As a National Assembly member and legal professional, I fully complied with the police invitation and cooperated at every stage of the process, which lasted only for a few hours. I want it known to the whole world. I will not be intimidated. My service to the people of Latikunda Savage and by extension the Gambia remains unshakable. No man born in this world can intimidate me into cowardice or submission. As I have always stated before, I will continue to facilitate the registration of Gambians who possesses valid, legally approved documents so they can exercise their right to vote in 2026 presidential election and all other elections that are coming. In doing so, I do not dictate where people should cast their ballots. That is their sovereign choice. My priority is simply to ensure every eligible citizen is registered. To provide a typical example, during my door-to-door mobilization efforts in Abuko, which is in my constituency, I entered a compound where the residents were supporters of NPP. When I introduced myself as their representative and encouraged them to register, they asked if I would still assist them despite their political leanings. I told them my goal was to ensure they were informed and registered regardless of their party. I personally drove four first-time voters from that compound to registration center, waited for them and dropped them back home. One of them jovially remarked as I was dropping them back home, for the presidential election, we will vote for Barrow, vote for National Assembly election, we may vote for you, you are a good person. This illustrates that I do not facilitate registration to buy votes for specific candidate or for myself. I do it out of genuine sense of national service. I am still focused and a very determined person. I refuse every form of intimidation. In fact, as my friends and family can attest, I'm allergic to it. I will never stop facilitating the rights of Gambians to participate in our democracy. To the supporters of Unite, I remember when we distributed thousands of armbands, each proudly bearing the word "Stand Together." At the time, my inquisitive son read them and asked, "Dad, what does stand together mean?" Honestly, I couldn't give him a perfect explanation at the time. But yesterday, I truly saw what those words meant. After a few hours at the police station, I walked out to find thousands of United supporters gathered in solidarity. I looked at the armband on my hand and finally felt the weight of its meaning. Thank you for showing me solidarity, people from Unite and UMC. To Aziz Bensouda, Aziz was the first person to arrive at the police station. I have a story to tell that connects what I saw in him yesterday to a lesson from my past. Back when I was with the UDP during a National Assembly caucus at Hussein Dabo's office, he spoke of a standard of conduct we should emulate when dealing with ministers, a standard, he said, lives by. And Hussein Dabo said, and I quote, "Aziz is one of the finest young legal professionals you could ever hope to meet in court. He is fearless, professional, calm, and patient, yet he always secures truth from witnesses. Aziz, thank you for your bravery, your mastery of the law, and the professional manner in which you have conducted yourself before the police. I agree with Hussein Dabo. You do not bluff with bravery. You are simply one of the bravest in this country. To my constituents across UDP, NPP, and all parties in Latikunda Sabi, seeing supporters from across the political spectrum in my constituency to gather yesterday and stand by me was a profound honor. It confirms that I am serving my people to the best of my ability. More importantly, it proves that Gambians can unite to fight illegality and injustice, regardless of party colors. I am proud of you all, and may God bless you all. To the online misguided and certain UDP detractors, I have asked myself, when an opposition party will celebrate the troubles of one opposition member? The answer is simple. When a party loses hope of winning, they begin to attack and smear the one they fear can win. When I was among you, you hailed Yahya Menteng Sayang as educated, brave, fearless, and honest. I am still that same person. Nothing has changed and nothing will change. I urge you to focus on your own party politics. Honorable Yahya Sanyang and Unite are pulling ahead in this race. The more you ignore your own programs to concentrate on us, the further we will widen this gap. There is no enmity here between us and you people. The only difference is vision and mission. To the government of the day, through this experience, I have seen the gaps in our laws. I urge you to work with the National Assembly and use your majority to fix these legislative loopholes. It's built on good laws. Every administration should strive for a legacy that protects its citizen and that protects its citizen as it is now, how history will remember you. Final clarification on the allegations. Let me be very absolute and let me be very blunt. I have never procured a birth certificate. I have never worked in any production center, nor I have ever visited one. I have never signed a certificate, nor encourage anyone else to do so. I do not even have the technical capacity to verify authenticity of such documents. My role is that of a representative, not a civil registrar. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you.
Kunun ning kunun ko. And akira ko ning April kalo tilitanin sewala Honorable Yahya Menteng Sayang ay kumandro sa Kabo Police Station on the Bembe Faji Kunda. Ka fay ko UDP dimol wala complain o sambaji. Ka foko ay molle ma ko pour e carte soto meli alon ko manya na carte soto. Mbatandila molla ko doro nyu manke kumati men sotota adu nyu manke tonya fananti. Bari akada kulti mi alon ko muen ka walom doro itol lim borota de ko kata wala sambaji. Mborodo fanam mba fola ko Honorable Sayang kabri police hol ya kumandi atade danku police hol lale anu kabra atade danku police hol la ayela moy police hol la statement ay ala statement o di police station oto anu inata fa ko assassino so anara fo je fanam ko nyimmolu melmu nyul mu gambe dingol leti mele alon ko atam politician hol anu nim molu nata kay ko ikata carte fayol la na se ma carte nyinol la na se ma ko no nyaawo nyaabi ma ko la ani siloka ko aya fo nyame nyaala dia mo kono ko ate ni wato be kono kabring lum folo fo bi abe men na doro wala kaje ko gammenol men nyanta carte soto la isa findino nyaadi li carte soto no bebe o do ko kilimol in fact ndol be nyanta men kala wala nga Honorable Sayang emulate abe do ko men na gambe dingol be nyanta wala kala kadu nyum wila nyantolti pour ka carte nyini pour ka carte fanam fay pour que la man sa fanam tombo kunum men geta on the 19th of April ti police hol kay ko purasina somanda kabra tare dan ko somanda e kay ko assassino kabra seta inata ko mande ko de kay ko e nyinin karol le sote ba nyinin kala men bari mbala fila ka asani andi ko nyi wato be kono case file man di ala me ala ko isa ko nyinna ala case file ti evidence faray mang evidence tandala ka ko evidence nyi mol mel ye report ye nyinne tandi anim fana iman charge ka fay ko yenin neke wala yenin neke ntole nyin sirojo ko ngajo ko amanya nakela anu kadu luwa mo ad niemo ko mandi inyanta evidence tandi la le ka fay ko ye reportol samana ning evidence lom wala ya charge ka fay ko jani betar la sirinja yen nit ñi nek anu luwa man so wala ni luwa luwa ning tombo wala wofo bar wol be manke mamen sandi la mol la doron ko wala ko ntol unite mo be lon kulol la ani hormoni bunya anu luwa fata nga horoma baake nga bunya anu believe to ko kol nyanta tala nyama anyanta tala wala nyama bari be men jaka njang wala ko mol la melan ko be siri la bon ko be siri la official ko no ila kan luwa ke la fiara mati ke fon la political tamandiro ke anu tol ta sonna wala même fo en tolu nyokuya anu me en jakal wala ko gambe jannam ngajo oppositional ken ka to me meli tata ye ni report o samba oppositional lo ya lon ko to nyaati la ko kono ya lon ko evidence table bari ka to unite na do ko be men na ni silo men soto na ko be banko be murumurun kan na molbe dula beto ka to kudu men ke dala ko na police station do mo be aja mo wuli wulol findita nan ko ina solidarité tandi ntol bello na wolon kan wole nyum mol silandi moto mba fala mole doron ko fanan ko nin mol melalon ko hakili mal yalo ne ko aman sense make ana man possible ka foko mo me alon ko amanke l'hôpital do bulat amanke civil registrar wala amanke independent electoral commission wada kayti dila no mola me alon ko sa mo register no katum honorable Sanyang buka do ke l'hôpital abuka do ke records office amanke civil registrar amanke alkality men sa attestation di no mola woto honorable Sanyang be kayto so la nyaadi le kamol ma ko pour register ñing ni aji be baake ni ko scrutinize e kala ne ko amang long kantal mota woto me même fala doro wolam ko kuwol keta nyim banko kan logo ni logo men tambita ngam moja man sakunda do kula ba me alon ko place o babul man sakunda atata police station ol mbe alon ay melke je dula do bije fo abuko ye evidence standi ka fo ko anin agent o dun tan wala fo ay agent o busa mota wala ngaja fanan tanje men keta je o mari hani bi nene ma moy ko police ol ya ko man ni karla wala kula ndol jikita ko evidence ba men to me alon ko natalol bije nim ku be kala ni ni karbe kala wala nyanda ko man la ay nyinin ka bar wo kol man kay bi na nyim banko kan mboda woto mba fula ko ngalone membe keri nyim banko kan ngalone ko molbe man sakunda ani mol dol fa opposition on meli alon ko ndolla tarnya aninna nyabo wole gal on comfortable indi andi man hanyi nalon kan wala ya united ko ndolle la biggest threat andi to nyale wot ndolle la biggest threat katum kasara ron ni tinyaro membe keri nyim banko kan united pareta ka wala bondi jam andum nadiyata ale wo bakela mbe amoyle honorable Ahmad Ba minister of local government and lands sukuta meteo men keta NPP la meteo ay mel foje nyim ko mbe menje kambi njikita ko wo ko kilingollo kada aya foje le ko nadiyata ale ntolle la problem moti andi ba jelale ko eventol stop la nyame ntol ya believe ko yani honorable Sayang target men wo ko kilingollo ila fak kan nakarle ban nadiyata ale ita nakar non bari mba fala mole fana mba molu yamar lambe dandalala ka foye ko momo me amira ko isantol silandino wallahi ike fanna batan ka tun tolu motantol silandila motantol deindila no andu motantol stop no nadiyata alay nin December 2026 electional melkana united be contest la andu nadiyata alay united ba gagner mba fala molu fana yako na melde jang bala menketa kunum anin kunum ko aya worindi bakele katum mbiya ne maral sifa me mel banko kan wo maral kilimo nga wala je ko aka kuŋo sikandi nan koten bar na diata alay united ba make sure ko wota kala jam katu kabrin tolbe lola na même folum ko falin won nata wala sama nyim banko kan andu na diata alay wo falin kilimo mba jalal ayeki mba fala mole daran ko united sonna gambe muru silo kono nta sonna mol men be masakunda ke la sembo use ka mol batandi anu nta sonna masakunda ka la sembo use ka operational fanam batandi mba fala mol mel be ba man sakunda mel yalon ko place o be bulu isala ko gambe dingol leke o place o isala fana ko ye sembo soto bin tolla dina woto isa ibe mala nyame salon isa ko domando man ka nyum banko mum belta ala baraka baki len wax ne luñ lañ oyé fi rek moy pour waxtaan ak yeen li nga xamne mo xew ci bes yi nga xamne ño rombani ñepp umput len ne gis neen injustice ak targeting bi nga xam ne lañ def honorable Yahya Menteng Sayang parce que on the 18 of April mooy si weer buñ nekk ni honorable Sayang police yi oon nañ ko si Fajikunda police station di ko wax ne members yi nga xam ne ñoo nekk UDP biir Fajikunda ñoo dem joxe report foofu ne moom bokkoon na si ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi doon jàppale nit ñi nga xam ne waruñoo am kayit pour ñu am kayit pour mun a sànni karta ñu ngi leen a wax rek ne benn dëggal nekkul si wax yi parce que buñ fa demee wane wuñ benn evidence wane wuñ dara li nga xam ne moo mën a wane ne lu gaay di wax dëgg la waaye yaaxa rek lañ bëggoon a def buñ fa demee honorable Sayang di nit ki nga xam ne lu wala jàng nangu dem si police station bi bu mu fa demee police yi wax ko ne dañ bëggoon a jël dañ bëggoon a laajte pour xam lan moo xew mu joxe statement am bu mu fa jógee ñu ne ko na dellu si élection bu mu delloo si élection mu nekk 19 of April police yi ñu ne ko ne mun naa dellu wala mun naa ñibbi mu ñibbi yaagaatut rek ñu oowaat ko ne ko ne foog mu dellu si dañ am yeneen question yi nga xam ne dañ ko bëggoon a laajte waaye maa ngi leen a bëgg a yëgal ne si waxtu bii amul fenn fi nga xam ne won nañ honorable Sayang evidence amul fenn fi nga xam ne wax nañ ko ne am nañ case file si yëf yi amul fenn fi nga xam ne charge nañ ko wax ko ne loo def jaarul ak yoon bii ñu gisee ne du li nga xam ne moo war a xew parce que nit boo ko ooyee war nga koo wax ne evidence bii lañ am si yow case file number bi lii la ak ne loi bii nga yaaxa waaye lii yëpp amul si li nga xam ne lañ moo am si ñun suñ jokkante ak police bi waaye maa ngi leen di bëgg a wax rek leen na ne ñun United ñëpp xam nañ ñu si yar ak teggin te xam nañ ne ñun di nga xam ne dañoo yaaxa loi waaye dinañ leen wax ne duñ nangu li nga xam ne du yoon pour mu nekk li nga xam ne am na démba Gambie yëpp gis nañ ne junne nit génnal si nañ pour stand in solidarity ak honorable Sanyang wane rek ne United du nangu kenn ki nga xam ne dafaa jël doole foog ne dina ko mun a jaarale suñ kaw. li nga xam ne sax moo ñu gën a disappoint mooy ne wax yi nga xam ne amul benn digga mooy li nga xam ne moo si bokka dafa jógee si beneen opposition party muy UDP parce que ñun gëm nañ ne su nekkee da ngaa accuse nit foog mu jaar si yoon mi nga xam ne am nga evidence ñaari bés si gannaaw rek am na Fajikunda station tamit UDP members of UDP accuse woon nañ fi NPP ne dañ nekk di register nit mu dem ba bu gaa defee police case jigéen gi ñoo génne audio ne dafa apologize ne lu mu wax dëgg nekku ci so foog ñu bàyyi suñu xel bu baax a baax li nga xam ne duñ tooñante parce que politique jarul ko ñu jógee si loolu di wax ne lii wax la bi nga xam ne taxawut fenn di taxawut si dara li nga xam ne moo dëgg parce que honorable Sanyang liggéeyut si lopitaan honorable Sanyang du nit ki nga xam ne dafa register nit si birth certificate honorable Sanyang liggéeyut IEC kon honorable Sanyang naka la mun a joxee nit carte loolu laajte la mi nga xam ne Gambien yi war nañ koo laajte loolu lu mu wane rek ne mooy ne wax yi soo ko dégloo bu baax a baax di nga xam ne taxawut fenn fi nga xam ne dafa dëgër ñu jógee si loolu double standard yi nga xam ne dañ gis mooy ne am nañ evidence mi nga xam ne wonee na ne am na ki nga xam ne mu ngi si nguur bi am doole lool gis nañ ko si polling station yu bari di dem foofu di disrupt process bi di disrupt système bi ba amoon na abu ko fi nga xam ne accuse nañ ko ne dafa xeex foofu ak agent dara génnu si police yi waxuñ si dara soo gëm nañ ne double standard moo nekk di def looloo nekk di go on ñu jógee si loolu ñu ngi wax ñi ne United yëg nañ ne am na ñi nga xam ne ñun si opposition bi ak ñi nga xam ne ñun si nguur gi ñi nga xam ne they are uncomfortable si ñun suñ jëm kanam ak naka lañ melte si dëkk bi ñooñu United lañ gis as seen ennemi waaye man lu ma leen bugg a wax rek mooy ne na gaay concentrate ñu politique jaay seen candidate jaay seen programme kon lu United nekk di def parce que ñun duñ nangu fii kenn jël nguur gi ne da ngaa use nguur gi pour xeex ñu loolu du fi mu sa mun a am parce que man lu ma fi wax rek mooy ne bépp doomi Adama amul doole mi nga xam ne di nga stop United bu soobee yàlla yaara rek moo am doole mi nga xam ne mooy wax ne dara du am te du am waaye maa ngi leen di yëgal ne bu soobee yàlla United dina contest election bi te bu soobee yàlla dinañ ko gañe parce que ñun góom nañ ne Gambie ni ñun lañ bëgga te góom nañ lu ñoo jaay te dinañu sànnil carte maa ngi leen di remind rek ne tamit ne lu may wax nii ñëpp dégg nañu honorable Amat Bah bi mu demee Sukuta lu mu fa wax si rally bi du wax foofu ne United ak boys yi ñooy seen problème te ñoom dinañ jëf yëpp li nga xam ne mun nañ ko pour stop boys yi waaye maa ngi koo wax ne bu soobee yàlla amul doole boobu te kenn amul doole boobu si réew mi nga xam ne di nga wax ne da ngaa stop United maa ngay wax tamit ne ñu yëgal nit ñi ne luñ gis si bés yi nga xam ne moo romba fàttalekuloo nañu torop li nga xam ne moo daan xew si dëkk bi waaye maa ngi leen di wax ne bu soobee yàlla United dina taxaw ñu make sure ne kenn du use doole parce que doole bi nga xam ne yaa ngi si nguur nga am ko nit yàlla ko jox nit yàlla sànnil karta da nga mën a am doole boobu United du nangu kenn nga jël doole boobu ne da ngaa sonal doomi Gambia United du nangu kenn nga jël doole boobu nga ne da ngaa sonal yeneen political party fii bu soobee yàlla duñ ko nangu maa ngi leen di gërëm di leen sant di leen wax ne seen mbokk yi la United Party nga xam ne ñoo nañ fii pour waxtaan nañu jërëjëf.
Gambia no le register and yekkati o fay in 2026 presidential election. Mais United dingol biringa amba no tala stand together mbendi madrub kankara mundo akonye baba minum stand together wolungol lala I was out of ideas malong nga fayne don kay wol muko nga mole tafu ñokan bar kunum pour stand together nga men se fen ambar ba kun ne ngal pour mini lo because birim fi den police station ko nga United dingotra wili lolu ibelor ibe mbatu kan wayatande ko na amban bala membe je stand together nga minne anu be United dingol be dan na wala alinga nyomuto wala bambat no boroje assist ben suda assist le mo foloti même futata police station bari assist ko nga fu nyame nga story sodo about assist wato mbe UDP data party leader la office Ousseynou Dab ministre Sol Ousseynou konka ministre Sol akonka ministre Sol nyinen ka nyame abna gibe television to abuka happy akonya ko I wish assist is a national assembly member akoni you will be very proud of assist ni assist benda court gele kalonko akamtale is one of the best legal professional in this country, and as soon as I found a witness, as soon as I found a shadow blue, I can't shuttle. Usen na nyumfa nyal office kon akon ni assist la daji ko nintol national assembly member sol yo soto in the national assembly nsunata fon fenna minister sol bulu mba soto la bar kuno lata ko sene mem fanye wolungo bi kunne lata wala birin assist for police station very professional andu ay loi for police wala loi teke nyambe ngatande ko assist mu molti melan ko abi ko kufang fatiyala mo fatingol mat yala modo la kufana comme ndole ya Menteng Sayang sifal nga kufang fatingola nga kufana comme fatiyata but assist mol me alonko abe dairing bara nyum mo fatingote nyum banko kanja ningo baraje na constituency mol UDP nkolu NPP nkolu aning all the parties kunumbe brimbe num police station okol UDP nko men duntaje asiyata ba ndenge lol ni be nyoko fa sangi sala NPP nko men duntaje asiyata ba pati dingo men duntaje asiyata ba way mi na tan dintala kunu wala bu nyinti ko tonya ngana mol safle an tonya na pati yele na pati na constituency dingo len kanul go ko ngafa nyama UDP dingo men dunta kan kunu ito nda continue NPP dingo men dunta kan ta continue ali ko da pati dingo so way tan de ko I'm very proud of myself ko ngana mol safle mbe saf kan adu mbe continue ke saf atan ay tukilim fan tan dinako gambia non sinano nyokande nin kube ker me anon kan ni loi manta so ayo flantandi na number 1 benna mo shafka number 2 gambe no kafno nyokane nga kukela ko me anan ko ngaje ko ani luwa manda na